It's now time for the morning show on XL7-TV.
Welcome to the morning show on XL7-TV. I'm Bob Recktenwald. This is Scooter. Scott Kelly's.
How are you?
Well, you know, it's Friday.
Friday. Okay.
It's a escalated, hurry up, get your stuff done Friday.
Yeah. Yeah, it's we're going to bump everything up and put a lot of pressure on you, get it done Friday.
Let's get her ripped. Yep. And let's give you very little notice to get her done.
We'll make it work. That's what
we do.
It will work.
What we're talking about, folks, is due to the threat of stormy weather tonight, the Mount Bomber football game against the Greenbrier Panthers has been moved to 4 o'clock. They're trying to get everything in before the storms hit here. It's supposed to get quite a bit of rain in a short amount of time.
Yep.
So they're wanting to get all that wrapped up tonight. It's senior night at Bomber Stadium, and those festivities are going to happen after the ball game. They'll either happen on the field if it's not raining. Chances are it's going to happen inside the gym because it should be raining. So,
looking at things, it should be.
Yeah, it should be raining.
Unfortunately. But
you know what? It's one of those things we can't do anything about, so you play the hand that you're dealt and you do the best you can with it.
Yep. That's all you can do.
Other than that, how's your life?
Doing good. And when we're talking about football, not to go on to that just let people know we will be broadcasting it. We are moving up on our schedule early, too.
We're going to move the pregame. We'll start at 3 o'clock.
Yep.
The kickoff will be right at 4 o'clock. So the only thing that really has changed is the kickoff time. They moved it up 3 hours, so it's changed a lot. But the format itself will still stay the same.
Yes.
So other than that, everything looks okay.
I think we're going to be all right. We're going to rock and roll it.
Are the leaves coming down at your place?
Everywhere. And I'm looking, there's still more up there, so I'm not rushing to mulch them out. So I'm going to buy a little time.
Gigi was at the house on Saturday, and he blew the driveway, and I got on the mower, and I blew some around, mulched up a little bit, and I got home from work yesterday, and it was the carpet leaf.
Yeah, and you're like, well, why did I do all that the other day?
Because if you wait too long, it gets so thick you can't do nothing with them.
Yeah, that's true.
Especially if it rains.
Yeah, then they get yucky.
Then they get nasty. So, hey, all we can do is give thanks for what we're getting, and let's do that right now. Brought to you by Roller Funeral Home of Arkansas. It's the morning prayer. With all our respect is how they do business. It's not just their motto. They have 29 locations to serve you in Arkansas and 1 in Memphis, Tennessee. Renata Jenkins-Byler and her staff do a wonderful job taking care of you and your family in your time of sorrow and time of need. Go see them, Roller Funeral Home, the morning prayer. Lord, we just thank you for the day that you've given us, Lord, and the challenges that you give us are never too hard. And your book says that you'll never give us more than what we can handle. And my older brother always says, "Blessed are the flexible, for they don't get bent out of shape." And that's just the way we have to deal with things sometimes, so Lord. So we just pray that as people sit in the stands tonight, they're flexible and they don't get all twisted up because of a time change. And Lord, again, we just pray that you will help educate our voters and make Tuesday go the way it needs to go, and your will be done in that situation. Lord, we need help here in the U.S., and you're the one that we turn to for that. Lord, we just pray that you'll keep everyone safe as they travel in and out of town to go to their different places. And Lord, we just thank you for doing all that you do for us in our daily lives. In Christ's name we pray. Amen. Roller Funeral Home, Highway 5 North, past Hospital Drive to the right. Look for the biggest American flag you've probably ever seen in your life. Turn into their driveway. Go talk to them about pre-planning, burial plans. Scooter, it's just one of those things that happens to everybody.
It does. Everybody's going to have to deal with it at some point in time.
You can either be prepared or get caught.
Yep.
So you might as well try to be as prepared as you can. Go see them. Roller Funeral Home, Highway 5 North here in Mountain Home. And now we're going to have a word from Bob and Linda Zdora of the Z Team, Century 21 LeMac Realty here in Mountain Home, across the street from McDonald's. Their phone number is 870-405-0793. Their website is retiredarkansas.net. And check this out.
Well, folks, have you been trout fishing before?
Not since I was a little kid.
You'll do fine. Hey, what are you doing?
Aren't you coming along?
See you downriver.
How do you start this motor? I've never been in a boat before.
See you downriver.
Well, folks, have you sold a house before?
Yeah, about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you'll be okay then.
You sure?
Where are you going?
See you at the closing.
Hey!
At the closing.
We should have called the Z-Team.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. The Z-Team, Bob and Linda Zdora, 870-405-0793. Retiredtoarkansas.net. You can go there and you can click on MLS listings. You can see all the listings in our area for what's available. If you see something there, you better act fast because the market is slow, but it's not too slow. We like to go there every morning to take a look at this. It's not a bad shot.
Still black and white. It's not, color hadn't activated yet.
No, but it's still pretty cool.
Now, I did take a shot this morning.
Well, let's take a look at that.
Let's take a look at it. Ta-da!
That is the Rainbow Bridge. Goes from Cotter, Arkansas over to Marion County, Arkansas. Just below that, where you see that cluster of lights on the left-hand side, that's a boat launch, isn't it, Scooter?
Yes.
Yeah. That'll get you into the White River. You can launch there, float. You can either float down or you can motor up.
And that commercial you seen before, that was the launch we used to do the commercial.
There you go. And that's that commercial's got a lot of attention.
It has.
Let's take a look at one of the other shots.
Okay. There's that one, and then we'll go into the zoom-in camera.
There you go. Still need that.
Yeah, we're going to have to get out
again.
there and figure out what happened.
We like to show this shot because if you look to your left-hand side at about the 9 o'clock position, you can see the ripples in the water. They're not generating a lot right now, so that makes it look really neat. I'd like to hang around and watch a few more of those, but we really don't have time. You can go check them out for yourself at retiredtoarkansas.net. Go to live views, click on that. There's 15 or 16 different views you can see. You can just let it scroll in your background all day long if you want to. There's another shot. You can see that sun coming up. Yeah, we've got to get some adjustments made because we're looking at the tree V there. Anyway, retiredtoarkansas.net. Give them a call. Bob and Linda Zdora, 870-405-0793. Realtors you can recommend to your friends. I always say they're busy, but never too busy to help you. Now let's take a look at some temperatures. If I can get to the temperatures, there we go. Mountain Home at 62, Harrison is 67, Batesville is 64, Yellville 67, Marshall 64, Salem 65, Mountain View 64, Calico Rock 62, West Plains, Missouri is 65, Springfield, Missouri is 66, Poplar Bluff, Missouri is 60, St. Louis, Missouri is 64. And we'll let the radar catch up with us here a little bit. We'll pan out so we can look at this big old glob of wet. The fortunate thing is right now that stuff's going to the northwest of us. It's going up through Oklahoma. It's been through Oklahoma into Kansas, up over into Iowa, then going to hit Wisconsin. But there's some stuff that's not quite on this radar screen that's coming up through Louisiana and Dallas and Texas, and it's going to be pretty wet here starting at about 7 o'clock tonight. We'll zoom into Arkansas. At the current time, between Rogers and Blytheville and Fayetteville and Jonesboro, it's all clear. Conway, Little Rock, Hot Springs, Benton, Pine Bluff, Texarkana, and Greenville, Mississippi. As of right now, through noon, the state of Arkansas is going to be fairly clear. So if you're needing to travel somewhere and you don't want to get wet while you're doing it, you might want to do it sometime earlier this afternoon. Because I promise you, when you look at this right here, this right here is what they say we're going to get throughout the day and early evening, which is a severe storm that comes all the way from Houston, Lake Charles, all the way up through Fort Smith. It does cover Baxter County. Matter of fact, it covers generally the whole state of Arkansas, so it looks pretty rough. Watches and warnings. I don't know what that
Wind advisory.
High wind right up through here from the northern half of Arkansas, northeast half of Arkansas, all of Illinois, most of Indiana. I want to point out something that's pretty cool, Scooter. We have the smartest weather in the world. Do you know that?
No.
We do.
I know it knows where the borders are sometimes.
Well, it does, you know, and somebody in Nevada has got the click. Because look here, right here. There is nothing at all in the whole state of Nevada, and it stops at the border all the way around.
Somebody important must be in that state.
Somebody important must be there. 7-day forecast looks like this. Today it's going to be high near 78, sunny, then a chance of thunderstorms about 30%. Tonight, thunderstorms, 100% chance, at low of 47. Chance of thunderstorms, then sunny tomorrow, high of 61. Saturday night will be clear, low of 44. Sunday will be clear, high of 70. Sunday night, partly cloudy, low of 52. Monday, slight chance of showers, high of 70. Monday night, slight chance of showers, then mostly cloudy, low of 58. And then next Tuesday will be high of 74, partly sunny. Tuesday night, it's going to get down to 55. Then it's going to be sunny on Wednesday, high of 74. Going to get down to 53 with a high on Thursday of 70. Pollen count, today, none. Tomorrow, this is tree. None today, none tomorrow, none on Sunday. Grass, none today, none tomorrow, none on Sunday. Your old buddy ragweed always sticks around with a low today, none tomorrow, and none on Sunday.
Well, I promise you it'll be low tomorrow and low on Sunday.
That's the way it always works. Lake level and dam report. Lake Norfolk is 552.71, which is 0.71 above full pool. They're currently generating 1 at this time. Lake Bull Shoals, lake level is 654.73, which is 4.27 below full pool of 659. That's the generation and the lake level report for you. If you want to check that for yourself, give them a call at 870-431-5311. Listen to the recording. They change it when they add generators. They'll go ahead and change the recording as well. If you're experienced or not experienced, it's a good idea to have that number written down if you're going to get on the river. Let it figure out how much they're letting into the river.
Yep.
So that way you know how to navigate which direction or where to put in. You've been watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. We'll be right back.
It's a matter of taste, and at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home, delicious taste is all you will find. Enjoy signature crafted pizzas and appetizers, as well as oven-baked sandwiches, quesadillas, salads, pastas, and desserts. When it comes time to relax or meet up with friends, Brick Oven Pizza has you covered. Handmade cocktails and ice-cold beer are always available at their fully stocked bar. No time to dine in? No problem. Call in your order and use Brick Oven's convenient drive-thru window for all your to-go orders. It's a matter of taste at Brick Oven Pizza Company in Mountain Home.
Have you ever?
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. A lot of things going on in the next week or two around the area. I just want to mention a few of those. Today is the 6th annual Red Kettle Cook-Off. It's today from 11 to 1. Setup starts as early as 9 o'clock. It's at the Salvation Army Fellowship Hall. That's located at 121 Highway 201 North here in Mountain Home. This is the kickoff for the Salvation Army's biggest event of the year, and that's the Red Kettle campaign. But I believe it's a chili cook-off, isn't it? Have you ever been?
I have not.
It just says cook-off. It doesn't tell you if it's a chili or a hot dog or if a steak or what it is. I believe historically it's been a chili cook-off.
Has it?
But it's the 6th annual Red Kettle Cook-Off. It's today, November the 4th. Hard to believe it's already November the 4th. From 11 to 1, setup is at 9 o'clock. Salvation Army Fellowship Hall, 121 Highway 201 North. Also today and tomorrow, the Fall Bazaar at the Holy Cross Lutheran Church from 8 to 2 each day. Lunch will be served from 11 to 1. They're located, their address for your GPS users, if you want to put it in, is 48 Carnation Drive, but it's Highway 62 East. Just travel out Highway 62 East, go past the Old Mill Tavern, just there on the left-hand side of the road across the street, catty corner across the street from Ozark Boat Lifts. Quilts, raffle, food, crafts, silent auction, bake sale. Go out there and give them some support. I'm sure that the funds that are raised will go to a good cause. The granddaddy of them all is the 70th Annual Lions Club Auction, which runs from the 7th through the 10th from 6 to 10 each night. You'll get some great deals and help your community. You can watch the auction here on XL7-TV starting at 6 o'clock. You can watch it online if you would like. You can go to lionsclubauction.com and watch it there. You can listen to the auction at KTLO 97.9, and you can bid by calling 870-425-2266. And you can also bid online at lionsclubauction.com. Over 500 items have been donated by local businesses, and all the money that is raised with this helps serve the community, providing sight care and hearing-related services. You can also use PayPal this year, mountainhomelions@gmail.com if you want to use PayPal. They're having another Paul Bunyan breakfast, Scooter.
Mm-hmm. Good stuff.
All you care to eat: scrambled eggs, biscuits and gravy, pancakes, sausage links, coffee and juice, all brought to your table on china with real silverware. That's impressive.
Yes, they do it all right. They don't, no fine chinette.
No chinette.
It's China.
$8 for adults, $4 for children under the age of 12. Takeout orders are available. It's Saturday, November the 12th, to benefit the Twin Lakes Literacy Council. Serving will be done between 7:30 and 10:30 at St. Peter's the Fisherman Catholic Church at 249 Dyer Street. And for now, we're going to call that good. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. It's time for This Week in Real Estate. We'll be right back.
Have you ever noticed every time you wash your car, you end up wetter than the actual car? Next time, run down to Car Care and let the friendly staff put a smile on your face. Car Care of Mountain Home has a variety of services to clean your vehicle's needs, inside and out. From a simple wash and shine to their outstanding detailed services. Located 1525 Highway 62 East in Mountain Home. Stop by Car Care Mountain Home today, because driving a clean car always makes you feel good.
At Connor Family Funeral Home, our goal is to provide our friends and neighbors with caring, compassionate services at an affordable price. Connor Family is a full-service funeral home that offers a wide range of services to meet your family's needs and customs. We are the first on-site crematory in the area and provide many options to memorialize your loved ones and address all the details for a more personalized service. Where compassion and affordability meet, Connor Family Funeral Home in Mountain Home.
When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, it's our desire that you think about finding a way to live your life to the fullest while living with a serious illness. If you ever need help and support, we provide a team of healthcare professionals and volunteers that will support your physical, emotional, and spiritual aspects of life while doing the same for your family and caregivers in the comfort of your own home or wherever you call home. When you think about Hospice of the Ozarks, we hope that you grant us permission to walk on the journey with you. Your not-for-profit option since 1979.
When you're out of town, make sure your pet is with someone who will love them as much as you do. At 201 Pet Salon and Resort, your pet is cared for just as they would be at home. 201 Pet Salon and Resort is the only all-suite climate-controlled and air-filtered boarding facility in the area with private and spacious rooms to keep your pet relaxed. And with over 3/4 of an acre of fenced play area, your pet will receive the proper exercise they deserve. 201 also offers professional grooming services. Your best friend is in good hands at 201 Pet Salon and Resort in Mountain Home.
Are you looking for the best barbecue in 2 states?
Holy smokes!
Want the meatiest fall-off-the-bone ribs?
Holy smokes!
The most tender and delicious pulled pork?
Holy smokes!
The tastiest brisket in the Ozarks?
Holy smokes!
Holy Smokes Barbecue and Catering is the only place you need to go. Dine in, carry out, and the best food for your next catered event.
Holy smokes!
We're your mountain home for great barbecue cooking.
Holy smokes!
A higher calling for your taste buds.
Right there.
Welcome back to the morning show at XL7-TV. It's time for This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zdora, Century 21 LeMac Realty here in Mountain Home, the Z Team.
Yes, sir.
870-405-0793. Let me finish my spiel, Mr. Zdora.
I'm sorry.
RetiredArkansas.net is their website, and Mr. Zdora is here. How are you? Now you can go.
Now I can go. I'm sorry. I'm great. Yeah. Everything. I knew there was something wrong.
You know, I noticed that too, and he's just ignored the question.
Yeah, absolutely. I think up there actually better, but that's okay. Yeah, we had one up there for a little while, and then he painted, and then that was it. He was going to paint, and never. We still
we primered.
There was only primer.
It's a government project.
6 months. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, it's a government project. Yep.
How you been?
The great state of Scooter.
Yeah, there you go.
I've been good. I hear you've been traveling some.
We have. We went to Phoenix and to Sedona to catch up with some friends. We went to Phoenix to be participating in the Top Agent program, it's called, for Century 21, and you have to be invited It's not just open to anybody, and there's a criteria that have to be met.
Is it a regional top agent?
No, it's a nationwide thing, and it was interesting. It was interesting to be out there with other big hitters, as it were, people that this is their life, this is their livelihood, this is what they do all the time, and how they do the jobs that they do, and how their success in. And everybody's very giving and opening. This is what we do. This is what we do. Take it, use it. What you can't, move on. We encourage some people for different domain names to go with us, like ourretiredtoarkansas.net. We pointed out to some people the advantage of having a domain for where it is you live. You may have other domains as well. I don't know. I think we got like 20 of them, but for them, and they were like, oh, that sounds great, and then you can use that with your email. There's things that you can do. So it was pretty cool.
How many of them that you run across while you were in Phoenix make their own commercials?
Not many. Not many. Not many. And when you go and you tell them I do 2 radio shows and a television show every week, they're like, what? It's stuff that they never really thought of. I said, and have been doing it for a number of years. Mm-hmm. So
marketing the person's individual property is utmost important, making sure that gets out in front of people. But marketing your brand within the brand has got to be very important as well.
And it is, Bob. The Z Team I suppose we're a company, we're an LLC unto ourselves, and everybody that's on the team. That makes a big difference for Century 21 because we generate our own business. Century 21, you get some leads through them and stuff, but we generate our own. Mm-hmm. And that makes it easier for everybody else within the company. It's something they don't have to do. We spoke to the president of Mike Mueller, who's the president of Century 21, and when we told him, I pulled him off. I says, we're 3-time president award winners, back to back to back. I says, through COVID and everything else, and he was like, wow, because he knew where we were from because we have name tags and it said. But he was like, that's pretty impressive. And Linda told him, she says, in the years that we've been with Century 21, we have 502 5-star reviews. And he just stopped and he was like dumbfounded that we did that. Mm-hmm. I said, that's not her. I said, that ain't me at all. I said, I can't take any of that. I said, that's all her. I said, but he was just amazed that he congratulated us profusely on what a great job we've done and to be recognized for that. So it was pretty cool. And they a lot of times they think the people in New Jersey and whatever the company is that, wherever the home office may be, that they don't realize there's places like this. This is a small area. When you look at how our population, but how many transactions go through here, how much real estate money goes through a town like this, and Mountain Home and the surrounding areas, Marion County, from Yellville all the way down to Ash Flat, there's a lot of money goes through the real estate industry here. Mm-hmm. And we've seen it slow down some, no question. I mean, the economy is slowing down, and that's what they wanted to do. That was the method they chose to stop inflation, was they're going to do it through the housing market because they knew they could do that quickly, and it affects such a large amount of the economy. We're over 7%, and the 3-quarter jump the other day. If you're thinking about buying, you probably want to get locked in and get moving. Houses are still available. There's still homes that are on the market. There's not as many homes. If you're thinking of selling, there aren't as many homes on the market, so it might be a good time for you to come on. If you got someplace else to go, it's the same story as it was during COVID. You got to have someplace to go. You need to know what your plan B is. We're seeing homes that are coming on. People are starting to look around. Maybe some unreasonable price expectations. The market has changed. You have no doubt in your mind that the market has changed because people can't afford doubling the interest rate, which is basically what happened. You go from 3.5 to 7 something. That makes a big difference in your monthly payment. That affects we talk about the cost of the house and the price of the house. That definitely affects the cost of the house and how much you've got to come up with every month. It scared some people out that they just can't afford their monthly payment, and that's understandable. It's caused some people to change their mind about selling. And they're like, oh, we're not going to be able to afford to go to wherever it was that they were going to go to. Part of that still, I think, the political season. I think some of that will straighten out come Tuesday morning or Wednesday morning. That affects the psychology of things.
I ran into a friend of mine Monday at a local restaurant here, and we were talking the same thing. And he's like, his wife's in the closing business, or was. She's retired now. And I said, how, on your end, how did this affect if you were still working? She said, well, I'm still working one day a week. And she said, we've got 2 generations of spoiled people. They're used to the 2s, 3s, and nothing more than 4 for 20 years.
Yeah.
And back when her and her husband bought their first home, she said, I remember our first home was 10%. And it was owner finance in Arkansas. They had a usury law, couldn't go more than 10. Then they raised it to 12. And Tina and I were talking, said, yeah, we remember our first house was 9.185 was our interest rate. And it was a great rate.
Yeah.
And people were hoping that they could assume a loan at that size.
Yeah.
And a lot of them were. And back in those days in Arkansas, every loan was assumable until they made some changes, and then they were no longer that way. My point is, it's not the end of the world. It's still a good time to buy a home. Get it locked in as low as you can. You might look at an adjustable rate, or get you a 30-year fixed or a 15-year fixed at today's rate, and with the hopes that it will come down and come back to what the last 20 years thought was real.
Somewhere along the line, you'll be able to refinance.
And you might be able to refinance.
Right.
Let's look at some numbers so we don't run out of time.
Don't want to do that. But I couldn't tell because I don't have a clock. This week in real estate. Come on, you open up. There we go, 39 new listings came on the market. 3 commercial properties, 14 parcels of land, 22 homes came on the market, ranging in price from $850,000 to $69,000. There were 30 sales, 1 commercial property, 4 parcels of land, 25 homes sold. They ranged in price from $75,000 to $415,000. Average sale price this week was $211,000 with 69 days on market. A total of $5.2 million in residential real estate closed this past week. 7 properties expired. Currently, there's 262 homes listed on the MLS. Year-to-date comparison for 2022, there's been 1,013 homes have sold for $233 million. Average sale price this year is $220 with 79 days on market. For 21, there had been 1,107 homes that sold for $220 million. Average price last year was $199,000 with 89 days on market. We're seeing some motion in homes being withdrawn. They're on the market for a while, and they can't do what it was they thought they were going to do. Illness, friends, whatever the reason is, and they're deciding to stay here. And in talking to people, that's one of the things that's coming up in other markets as well. People are changing their mind and saying, well, we'll just stay here. The chances of hitting the money that you could have gotten a year ago in any kind of foreseeable future is not very positive. And if you're thinking that, well, we'll just wait, then that's fine. I mean, we're in Mountain Home. We're in the Ozarks, I mean, this isn't too bad. But if that's the motivation and it's stopping you from doing something that you want to do what it is you want to do, and you're not losing the money. You've made money over the years. The home, no matter what you get for what you paid for it, and what you're getting for it, and you got to remember you've lived in it. So there's a cost to living.
There's got to be value add there.
Exactly. So don't tie yourself up saying, well, we'll wait and we'll get, this $500,000 in 3 years. No, if you like it here, that's fine. And you're going to stay, that's fine. But life goes on. People get married, people have children, grandchildren. illness happens. There's any number of things that come up. Don't get yourself locked in, worried about, well, we're losing money.
No, you're not.
You're not. Exactly. It's the same thing with the market, the stock market. Oh, the market crashed. Oh, I lost all this money.
Did you
You didn't take that money out until, exactly. Until you go to take that money out, you didn't lose that money. And you're not losing the money on the house because you've appreciated a lot farther than you're going to fall back. And people that have bought homes in the threes, they're going to be a little more hesitant because of the interest rates. A vast majority of, like 85% of the home mortgages, people are under 5%. So you've done very well over the years, and the homes have appreciated, like I say, much faster than they're falling. Don't lock yourself in. Don't if you got something that you really want to do, get out there and do it. Do it. Life goes on.
The thing that people need to realize, and they probably don't take the time to analyze it as much, as you mentioned a moment ago, if you look at your depreciation you took on your taxes, if you were in the bracket to where you could itemize and use that instead of the base depreciation, you depreciate your home. You've got to take that into consideration. Sure. You take the value that you paid for the home when you bought it, you add back to that all the improvements that you made. Now you're talking difference between cost and potential profit. If you really look at that, and again, look at the number of years you've lived in the home, put some value to that. Now, if you get an offer that's within 15% of your asking price, go back to those numbers and say, okay, if I deduct this off my asking price, where am I in my profit side?
Very true.
Use that as your weight for your profit. Not just, well, I'm asking this, they're only offering me that, I'm going to have to sell for that. Gosh, I've lost $35,000.
Exactly.
No, go back and analyze it a little bit deeper. Take that one step further into the pool, and then take a look before you go swimming.
That's true, Bob. And that's a very important part of the mix of deciding, what are we going to do? The royal we. What are we going to do? And you need to be realistic about things. Like I say, you didn't lose that money because you never had it. Mm-hmm. The neighbor across the street, he got $20,000 more than you. It was all timing.
The neighbor played the lottery a little quicker than
exactly.
you did.
It was all timing. And it's funny the number of people that started calling when things started. Like May was like the top. That was really the top. And as things started to come down, it seemed like the phone calls picked up going forward from that. So if you're interested, if you have questions about selling. And I've got signs in my yard that I really don't need in my yard that I would like to put on your lawn. But give my honey a call. She's at 870-405-0793. The website is retirettoarkansas.net. Let us help you make good decisions. That's all I want you to do. I want you to make good, informed decisions. That's the most important thing that we do. That we've always done that as a team, as when it was Linda and I, and now with the rest with Sam, Darlene, and April, Reese. This is what we do, and we're here to help you do well. And we want you to do well.
And people need to realize that when they sell, that's not the end of the game. If they're selling and buying in our area, they need to consult with you guys about the buying side as well.
Oh, sure.
Not just the selling
side.
And
obviously we do both sides. We're buyers agents. We have a certificate for that, but we can do both sides. We can do, Arkansas allows us to be dual agents, and with the members of the team, we've never had an issue with that because somebody takes the buyer, somebody takes the seller, and represents them correctly.
This has been This Week in Real Estate with Bob Zdora at Century 21 LeMac Realty here in Mountain Home, 870-405-0793, retiredarkansas.net. Thanks for joining us. Football Friday is coming up next.
Go
We'll
Bombers.
see you then.
Jim Brown Company keeps you cool when it's hot and warm when it's not. A trusted name in the mountain home community, Jim Brown Company provides timely heating and cooling installation and repairs. Our certified technicians incorporate new technology on every job to provide you with the most advanced services. At our metal fabrication shop, we handle projects big and small. We've created everything from commercial ducts to custom designs.
I'd recommend Jim Brown Company to my friends and neighbors. The reason being they have high-tech equipment. Their service techs are well qualified for the job that they do, and they also send me a report after all the work is done, so I know exactly what my unit's doing.
By visiting our showroom, you can learn all about our heating and cooling products. We'll educate you on your options and help you decide on the right solution. For total comfort at your home or business, choose Jim Brown Company. Quality service with a family name since 1964.
Diatley Dental Care is a family-owned dental practice. Doctors Irvin and Christina Diatley grew up in the Twin Lakes area and are proud to serve the community. With modern treatment methods and state-of-the-art technology, they are dedicated to providing exemplary care to patients of all ages. Our compassionate team consistently receives training above and beyond the standard of care.
We're changing the way you see dentistry.
Come be a part of our dental family.
Overhead Door, a garage door company that has been with your family from the beginning, through all the ups and downs of life. From the small repairs to making your vision a reality. Overhead Door, your trusted garage door expert since 1921. Be sure you're getting the genuine, the original overhead door service.
Call Overhead Door Company of North Arkansas today in Mountain Home.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. It's Football Friday. Coach Steve Airy, Coach Greg Crow are with us this morning. Mountain Home Bomber football is happening today. It happened at 4 o'clock instead of 7 o'clock.
Sir,
we're starting the ball game early today, due to the threat of weather, and it's going to make things a little bit different in your scheduling.
It's going to be a weird day. Told the guys, I said, just plan on a weird day. Don't plan on going home. Don't plan on doing anything else. Let's get up to about a half a day of school, and then we get our walk through about 12:30, and try to get a little food down the hatch about 2, and start doing a pregame walkthrough and getting ready to go out about 2:30.
Get in the mindset and let her rip.
Yeah, it's going to be like getting ready for practice. You come out here about the same time you practice, you're going to be playing. So,
Coach Crow, let's go to you and let's recap your great season for the 9th grade. Well, your whole junior high program had a pretty good season this year.
I was proud of our kids. We asked, they put a lot of time into it, and to end like we did was good, and just a lot of positives going forward. Just really proud of those kids. Just coming to work every day and doing what we ask them to do, for sure.
You're back-to-back conference champions. Both seasons in your conference. You've undefeated in both the last 2 years in your conference. Congratulations on that to you and all your other coaches, and most importantly to your players.
It's like we told them after we got beat by El Dorado. We said, at the end of the day, this isn't the goal, but we don't need to lose again. And and honestly, that was a really good teaching point for those kids, because we had El Dorado beat. There's no. And honestly, that may have been as well as we played all year for 28 minutes. The kids just did a phenomenal job, and El Dorado had really good skill kids, really good quarterback, and there was just kind of a string of things that, we kind of let go of the rope. We had a few personal fouls, just kind of over-aggressive, late in the deal, gave them 30 yards, and, we had some dropped interceptions and just, missed assignment on offense and, stuff like that. But, they didn't relax. We probably had 2 bad practices the rest of the year, and they just didn't relax. So I was really happy with it. I was happy we got to play our 8th grade quarterback up, and get 9th grade experience in a full deal, week of practice going into it, and have that positivity going forward. And we evaluated our 8th grade a lot, and I think we know the direction we got to go with our personnel and some of that stuff, and we're going to start maxing out next week with those guys and get going.
Off season is cranked up for them starting next Monday.
We're going to start next Monday and get all our stuff so we can start lifting after Thanksgiving and get that going, and then obviously the basketball kids will come after basketball. But, we got about 40 in there right now. So,
what's the future of our 8th grade? How does it look at this point?
Our 8th grade coming 9th next year?
Yes.
I think we're going to have a good team. I mean, I think we'll be salty next year. It's just I got to move a few guys around and teach a few guys some things, and we got to shore our defense up a little bit. But I think we know the direction we're going to go with that. And, obviously that's what off season's about, is getting all that situated. And we probably, realistically, Coach Ari will tell you this, we probably are a lot more structured and organized on what we do in the off season as far as moving them forward than most junior high teams are doing. We get a lot of work in. We're literally doing football every day with those guys. So when we leave school, our offense and defense is basically in. And then we have a lot of kids that play Ozark Football League, and we get that time with them too. So it's a good situation.
Your 8th grade, you're still going to retain some pretty good size on your line, both sides of the ball.
We should, and we don't have a lot of depth with that. We've got to develop some more depth for sure. I don't like playing our offensive linemen both ways at all, if I can help it, in junior high, and we're obviously going to make that the goal. So we got some kids we got to get better and get them on the football field. So I like my lines to be totally fresh, one thing, and go with it. So, and honestly, it's better for the program if we do it that way, for sure.
Coach Ari, we talked about your JV team, your JV squad that went undefeated this year. There's no need to go back over that. But let's talk about last Friday's game. You got anything you'd like to mention about last Friday's game against the Van Buren Pointers?
Oh, it was good to do something good. You went in at halftime, it was bleak. It was like, oh my gosh, what's just happened here?
Mm-hmm.
And then, you 35 points later, and you're on the winning end of the stick, So it was just, I don't know what happened, but the kids fought. The kids stayed in there. They believed. They worked hard. They fought hard, made plays. It was good, just a good thing to be a part of. Decon came in yesterday and said somebody made a statement that out of 145 games that went in at halftime 28 or less, or 28 or more, we're the only team that's won one this year. So.
Really?
Yeah, that's a large deficit. I've done some 21s, maybe even 124, but I've never done a 28 down. So that's a first for me.
I met you on the field after the game Friday night, and I said, Coach, what did you say to these guys at halftime? He said, what did you tell me? Really didn't? I don't say a whole lot at halftime.
No, you just make a few adjustments and coach, and everybody thinks there's a speech or butt chewing or something that's involved there, and it's nothing like that. It's just keep coaching and keep trying to get better and improve. That's what halftimes are to me.
Yeah. Other than tweaking a scheme or two here and there, it's all got to be right here.
Yeah, and you give them confidence and let them execute a plan, and they did that. They did a really good job, and we do this and this is going to happen. And it fell out just from the opening kickoff where we said we're going to go down and score and get a 3 and out, and we'll score again. And man, it's a 2-score game. We got a quarter and a half to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
And it played out exactly like that.
And it sure did. And how hard was the decision to go for 2 instead of just go for the tie?
That wasn't. I had planned when we got the ball back with like 3:11 or 3. It was just 3 minutes and something. But I had made my mind up right then. We were going for 2, and then we got down to it, and Darren didn't want to do it. And so we kind of had a debate on the sidelines and set the kickoff or the PAT team out, and it's like Schrabel goes, man, we need to talk about this. Said, you two need to get on the same page. So we timed it up, and got a timeout. And I said, man,
we could be the hero. We could be the goat.
We got these guys on the ropes. Let's go ahead and put the nail in the coffin. I don't want to get beaten overtime and get a pat on the back. Good job, good fight. I'm sick of hearing that speech.
Yeah,
I've heard that one. I'm sick of it. I want to win.
Yeah,
take advantage of the moment. So we did,
and it worked.
Yep, it did.
Worked. Your quarterback Yates did a phenomenal job Friday night.
He did. He's a war daddy. He run it, he threw it. We got 2 4th downs, I think, in the final drive. You know, one of them was with his arm, one of them was with his feet.
Yeah. And Barnett, you can't take anything away from his performance at all.
Everybody knows he's going to touch the ball a bunch, and he continues to make plays, and he takes shots, and he's playing both sides of the ball, and he's had a great year.
I don't want to throw out any names, but let's talk about your young players that you've got on that defensive backfield. They showed out.
Yeah, Barrett ended up with a pick 6, and that erases that gives you more time on the clock to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And Barrett started that game for us, and he just did a great job. You know, we had Jacob Chenoweth, sophomore, playing corner. And Drury went down with some leg cramps, and another freshman, Carter Atkins, comes in and plays about 3 or 4 snaps. And you know, we sound like we're young back there, and we are, but it's valuable experience for down the road.
I guarantee you, absolutely. 7:45, we're going to take a quick break. You're watching The Morning Show on XL7-TV. Coach Steve Airy, Coach Greg Crow with us this morning. We're talking Mountain Home Bomber football. We'll be right back.
Scrap Daddy's Metals is a full-service scrap recycling center accepting your scrap metals for recycling, paying you top dollar for all of your recyclable metals. They even buy cars and catalytic converters. Give them a call today at 870-424-6120 or visit them at 2821 Highway 5 North in Mountain Home. At Letty's Mexican Restaurant, we are here to keep you safe during these difficult times, as well as serve you the best Mexican food in the area. That's why we've installed a convenient pickup window for all your to-go and pickup orders, as well as a covered outdoor seating area. Give us a call at 870-435-2532 to order your next meal. And don't forget, Letty's also provides catering for small parties or big events. Experience the best in Mexican cuisine. Letty's in Gassville. Close to Lake Norfolk and a short journey to Jordan County Line Liquor is your destination for all your refreshment needs. They offer the widest variety of all your wines, beers, and liquors with the cleanest atmosphere and the largest selection in the area. Not sure what to get? Ask Jordan County Line Liquor's friendly and knowledgeable staff for an expert recommendation you can't go wrong with. Also, don't forget about the Smoker's Den for all your smoking and accessory needs. That's Jordan County Line Liquor, close to Lake Norfolk, located on Highway 177 in Jordan, Arkansas.
Well, folks, have you been trout fishing before?
Not since I was a little kid.
You'll do fine.
Hey, what are you doing?
Aren't you coming along?
See you downriver.
How do you start this motor? I've never been in a boat before.
See you downriver.
Well, folks, have you sold a house before?
Yeah, about 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, well, you'll be okay then.
You sure?
Where are you going?
See you at the closing.
Hey!
At the closing.
We should have called the Z-Team.
It's a matter of taste.
Welcome back to the morning show on XL7-TV. It's Friday morning football. We're talking to the coaches from Mountain Home High School and Mountain Home Junior High, Steve Airy and Greg Crow. Coach Crow, your off season is going to start quicker than you know it. You guys concentrate mostly on conditioning or getting stronger?
We don't do a lot of conditioning in junior high. We do weights and we do a little bit of agility, but in the agility part of it, we're doing football structure stuff, mesh, route tree, base offense, personnel groupings. I mean, we put it all in we're pretty much rolling with that by January, and so we'll do, when the offensive linemen are doing agilities, they'll have about, Coach Harrell will be in the weight room with the skill kids, and they'll probably do 10, 12 minutes of agilities, and then they'll do 18 minutes of football work.
There you go.
Working on blocks, double teams,
Start it
pulls. Quick. Yeah, and, what they're doing so that they know what they're doing. And obviously, when you know what you're doing, the faster you play, we kind of eliminate the confusion. Mm-hmm. So, and we're not overly complicated in junior high. I mean, we run power, counter, sweep. That's it. And so, I mean, it's all kind of correlates,
Yeah.
So,
Coach Harry, with the change of schedule, it's still a big night for the Bomber team. You've got Greenbrier Panthers coming in. It's senior day. You can't call it senior night. It's senior day. A lot of festivities going on with that.
Senior night ceremonies have been moved to after the game instead of before the game. So kickoff's going to be at 4 o'clock. If it's pouring down rain, the senior ceremonies will go to the hangar. We'll do it in the gym so that not everybody's out there getting poured on.
Right.
But yeah, it's senior night. These guys are playing their last game. They're 2-0. They got a playoff game, so to speak, tonight. Got a win to get in, and senior night, and it's a day game, and it's just different, man.
Yeah,
but it's kind of fun at the same time.
It is different. I told you earlier off camera, 27 years in the press box, I don't remember ever playing a afternoon Bomber varsity game.
Yeah, I've played a few Saturday games in the playoffs and stuff, and that was always fun. So it just brings me back to those days right there where you're playing a playoff game on a Saturday and the sun's out and it's warm, and it's going to be a good time.
What are you expecting to see from Greenbrier?
Pretty much 3-4 defense, multiple offensively. Everything goes through number 31. You're going to see this guy out there on the field tonight, and he's not going to look very big, but he's going to run like nobody else. He's the fastest kid on the field, bar none. He's the fastest kid on the field every Friday night in any game. So obviously they're going to move him around, get him the football, and we got to hold that dude in check. He tends to get loose 2 or 3 times a night.
Usually they take him, they try to get him outside.
He's an outside player. He's only 160 pounds, so he's not an inside player. He'll get beat up in there maybe. But you got to catch him.
Yeah.
And then they'll get the ball to him in space as well. And then he'll run the top off, and he'll get over top of you.
They're going to do their the best they can to play our weaknesses, and that's the defensive back, and they're going to try to go deep on you.
Yeah.
Able to make some changes to keep that from happening this week?
We're going to go with pretty much the same guys we had last week. We looked horrible in coverage last week in the Van Buren game, and we had 6 guys deep, in the first half, and then we put another guy in the box at halftime and was able to create some pressure and eliminate the quarterback scramble, and that kind of fixed us up. So
I watched several of the Van Buren games before y'all played Van Buren last week, and if you can keep Malachi Henry from catching the football like we did the second half of last week's game, if you can do that with their wide out tonight against Greenbrier, I think we're okay.
I think we are too, because Malachi is one of the top players in the league. I mean, he's special. This kid here is probably not as good skill-wise, but like I said, he's just a burner. He's just fast.
Yeah, he's quick. How's your offense look? Any big changes? You got any players back that we didn't have last week?
No, we're going to look about the same. I'm sure Darren's got a wrinkle or two. Matter of fact, as I was telling you a while ago, we haven't put 4 quarters together yet. It's always 2 quarters, and that's it. But he needs to come out of the gates. Offense needs to come out of the gates scoring points, and defense needs to get off the field a couple times, and it'll be a whole different kind of ball game if we can just muster that up.
Yeah, do a little change. Hubbard didn't see the ball much last Friday night. Do you see that to change any tonight?
Chris looks like he's 100%. It's weird. Our kids get beat up and they're out, And he's back though. He's 100%, and he's ready to go. He had his best day of practice Wednesday. One
thing we saw against Van Buren on Friday night was short, 4th and short. We went for it. Up under center. We don't see a lot of up under center here.
No, we're starting to do it just a little bit, and that was just a wrinkle more than anything. So
caught him off guard. It worked.
It did. And I'm one of these guys. It drives me crazy to be 4th and a foot and wearing a shotgun, But Darren's a spread personality.
Yes.
I love it when they get a shotgun because I start trying to run everybody through every gap. You know what I mean? And it gets tough to run the ball in there when they're going to bring 7 or 8 guys screaming through the line of scrimmage and you're in shotgun. You know, first thing you need to stop is quarterback sneak. Is my opinion, but we're not under center very much.
Yeah, and unfortunately, we don't have a lot of size. We've got some strength on our offensive line, but there's not a lot of weight there, and so being under center is a little bit of a challenge. But if it's 4th and 2 or 4th and 1, well, you got to just try it sometimes.
Yeah, and Coach Crow gets under center a little bit, and it just
we under center a lot.
Yeah. It's just things hit quicker. It's just different. I mean, it's just different. So,
Coach Harry, when will you start meeting with the 9th graders that are coming down the hill? When will you start meeting with their parents and those players? Will you do it before the off season?
We're going to do a meeting Monday night. I can't let these guys have the disconnect and the separation. So I'm doing something I've never done before. We're going to have a parent-player meeting Monday night. We're going to feed them. We're going to talk about the program, talk about where we want to go with the program, try to find the good stuff and eliminate the bad stuff in the program and where we're going.
Yeah.
Trying to find a direction to get everybody on board.
What time and where will that happen at?
6 o'clock in the junior high cafeteria.
6 o'clock at the junior high cafeteria. 9th grade parents and 9th grade players, not just the parents.
Players and parents, both.
Players and parents.
And we're not talking, spring league or none of that. We're talking about let's stick together. Let's
stay together.
Let's.
Coach Crow, how many 9th grade players did you have this year?
We're in the 50s for sure. Yeah, 53, 54, I think.
Yeah, I counted. And some of those on that roster you sent me may have been 8th graders, but I counted 64. But I know there was some 8th graders on that roster as well. But we're not done with the varsity season by no means. We win tonight. We go on to play the East 3 position team over there. At this stage of the game, as of last night, the way it looks, if we were to go play E3 now, it would be Benton.
Really?
That's if Marion beats Catholic.
Well, as the standing is right now, as it is today.
Okay, I was thinking we'd be getting in on Marion.
Yeah. As the standings looked as of last night, we play E3, and E3 right now is Benton today. So, but we can't look ahead. We've got to focus at 4 o'clock. We've got to focus on what's going on at 4 o'clock today. The guys got to get in the right mind. We need every able-bodied person that can come to Bomber Stadium tonight to be in the seat. This is the biggest game of this year, without a doubt. If they win this game tonight, they go on for the 3rd trip to the playoffs 3 years in a row, which has not happened in a long time. We want to make sure that happens, and we need some voices there to support these guys, support these coaches with what they're doing. And it's going to be a good game. Size-wise, on their offense and defensive lines, we look like bookends. We're about sized up about the same. This is the only game all year that we'll play where we're not outweighed 30, 40, 50, even as much as 70 pounds on that line.
Yeah.
And so these two schools are pretty level. The playing field's pretty level.
It's a pretty level playing field. Records are identical. We just kind of look. Somebody's going to win, and I don't know. It's just they're not going to take the one kid away that's really, really, really fast, and we're even. It's just we need some home crowd and some home cooking, though.
Yep.
And it's going to be warm. It's going to be you get home before 7 o'clock, and still got your Friday evening to do what you want to do. It's a good time to get out and catch a ball game.
Yeah, it'll be great for the ball game. Coaches, I always appreciate you guys coming in. It's been a long season, but it's been a good one for the junior high, and right now it's getting better for the high school. Like you said, if these guys had played as well as they're playing now, back at the Harrison game, this is a whole different year.
We've done a lot of growing pains this year. We've had a lot of different people in the lineup. We've had a lot of changes, and I don't know. It's just been a weird year.
If people don't understand the importance of consistency in practice, they need to look at this season, because the consistency and the practices that have gone in to get us to week 7, all that stuff, and if they'd have worked that hard all the summer long, this is a different world.
Well, I look at our secondary week 1, And obviously it was, you're not in very good shape. You want to be in good shape. But I'd had 3 guys starting back there that hadn't been involved in the summer off season. I had 2 linemen that hadn't been involved in the summer off season. As far as the camps and the reps, they were all beat up.
We've run out of time. Dadgum, it goes quick. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tonight.